So I thought it would be fun to start this one off with we pretend it's a sitcom.
Oh, really? Okay, great.
Because you watch Bojack Horseman, and that's based on
That's a sitcom.
Yeah. Well,
kind of a sitcom.
So you ready?
Okay.
So between every line, you gotta give it like a sec for the laugh track. That'll add later.
Great. Okay.
So you ready?
Good.
I'll start.
Okay.
The weekly Undertaking was filmed in front of a live studio audience. Hey, Mike.
Hey, Alex.
I heard you were thinking about asking Moret to the prom.
Yeah, she's so cute.
It's maybe to you.
What the is that supposed to mean?
Whoa, PG, man.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna bleep that just because we're on a sitcom.
Sorry, okay. Sorry, PG. What the is that supposed to mean?
Okay, sitcom over. Welcome back to the Weekly Undertaking.
I am Mike.
I'm Alex. I'm never trying anything fun again.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us this week.
Yeah, it's real nice.
It's very kind of you to discuss with us. Anyway, yes, go on.
I am excited for this week.
I am too.
Yes, we may have already talked about it a little bit because we had brunch today. That was fun.
We did have brunch.
Yes.
It was very pleasant.
Very sweet.
Yeah.
But last week, we challenged ourselves to binge watch a season of television. Of another's recommendation.
Of the other's recommendation.
And I hope you don't mind. I'm getting right into it because I feel like we'll be talking for a little bit.
Yeah, you're probably right. We have a lot of ground to cover.
We had a little bit of a gag, and it took like 30 seconds.
It was a good one.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
I thought of it while we were eating.
Oh, really?
That's what I was being real silent.
Oh yeah.
And I was just kind of like staring at my food, and it was like sitcom.
See, I thought that was just because the rest of us were discussing football, and you don't really sports that much.
That too. But since I wasn't sporting, I would be like, okay, well, what else can I think about?
Okay.
So that's what I was thinking about.
All right, nice.
So I'm glad you liked it,
I
and
did.
I'm glad you didn't wait until right away to ruin it. You gave it like 20 seconds. That was cool.
That was.
All right. So if you didn't see our tweet from last week, or like 30 seconds from now in our time,
yes,
we're weird with recording.
Sorry. Okay. Yeah. What show did you watch this week, Alex?
Like you don't know, you dipshit. I decided to... Sorry, that was uncalled for. I was recommended to watch the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina by you.
By me.
Which is based on Sabrina the Teenage Witch. It's a Netflix show.
The classic, I think it was 90s sitcom?
I think it was a 2000 sitcom, but it was an Archie comics before that.
Oh, right, you're right, and that's kind of the edginess that it takes from a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But
I've seen like one episode of the sitcom like a million years ago, and I remember just being like, yeah, okay.
I remember it was on when I came home from school every now and again, and my mom was always like, yeah, that's too old for you, and so I never actually watched it. But then cool. I had watched a couple episodes because I'm an edgy guy, and yeah, it was very different than the Netflix show.
I'm gonna just make sure to clarify, you've seen the Netflix show as well, correct?
Oh, of course, yeah. Good. I loved it. Yeah.
I just want to make sure so we can have a nice conversation about that.
We can.
And what show did you watch this week, Mike? For my recommendation, you did.
You want to try that sentence again?
Nope.
I watched season 1 of Bojack Horseman.
Whoa, that's a show.
It is on Netflix.
Yes,
television streaming service.
It's also coming to Comedy Central.
Is it really?
Yeah, they're putting it out too now.
I'm shocked. Well, first of all, most of the time that's interesting because most of the time it goes the other way.
Yeah,
around.
right. Like Comedy Central's putting a Netflix show on its programs. I thought that was kind of neat little trivia.
I wonder why BoJack is doing that because is it no longer gonna be?
No,
on
it
Netflix?
It will. Like the older episodes are going to be on television.
Oh, the older episodes.
Yeah.
So the new seasons from here on
will still be on Netflix.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just to clarify. Now, I don't think I've kept it a secret on the show. I mentioned it a few times. I love BoJack Horseman. I've seen all 5 seasons, and I love all 5 seasons.
I think you've mentioned it a few times. I watched season 1 and 1 episode of season 2. That's all I got through.
Oh, nice. I really like the first episode of season 2.
Yes.
So I think what we should do for the kindness of those who have not seen either of these shows is for like another like 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, We'll give a genuine overview, a general overview.
A genuinely general overview.
It will be genuine, and it will be general, and it will be an overview, and we will not overthink, and it will be short and sweet, and our opinions will be given without giving spoilers. And then we can dive into deep spoiler territory for those seasons.
Yeah, because I don't really think you can have a full discussion of either of these shows without spoilers.
Absolutely not, but I want to give something to the people who want to watch the show.
Okay, so we will put another spoiler alert when we're done.
Spoilers coming at you soon.
Thank you.
I was too lazy to put an effect later.
Yeah, so. I was gonna say thank you for putting that in now instead of using the high-tech internet to do that. But this will be a spoiler-filled episode.
Yes, and just to clarify, the time of recording, Sabrina's only had one season, but
yes.
only the first season of Bojack Horseman will be spoiled here.
Yes,
correct. I will not talk about any of the other seasons.
Please.
Yes.
Because first of all, we mentioned this a little bit at the end of last week's show, but you're not... I don't think either of us, actually, are ones to typically binge watch.
No, I really don't. The only exception is when I start watching something and I force myself to get through like 4 or 5 episodes, and then I can't stop until it's all over.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So... again, it was a lot like that with Sabrina. Like, I really had to make myself watch the first few, and then I really got going in my head. Mm-hmm. But I think that's pretty normal.
I guess so. I mean, I mentioned this last time, too, but I have ADD, so I really can't. I physically struggle to sit in one chair for an extended period of time and watch the same thing happening.
Dude, that's why I got my fidget controller thing that I mentioned the last week.
Oh, you did? And then I did not take it home.
Yeah, I know. I used it.
Good. Good.
While I was watching. Because I do the same thing. Where it's like, it's hard to just sit and like look at something. I always want to do something, you know?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. So, why don't you go first?
Sure.
General overview and opinion.
So, in general, I am not a huge fan of most adult cartoons. Such as The Simpsons and Family Guy. The Simpsons has higher rank than the other stuff.
I like watching compilation reels of The Simpsons.
Okay.
Like the best moments on YouTube or something.
I agree with that.
Like, because they have some awesome moments.
The Simpsons are genuinely funny, and that's why they've stood on the air for more time than most people have been alive.
Yeah, despite the popular census of please stop it.
It's like SpongeBob. It's like the art should stop, but there's money to be made, so it keeps going.
Exactly.
So I have respect for The Simpsons, but like shows like Family Guy, American Dad, and The Cleveland Show, and I guess I'm listing Seth MacFarlane shows, but I'm not really.
They're not. Yeah, I know what you mean.
There aren't. I'm trying to think of others. Rick and Morty I have a weird relationship with.
Rick and Morty is my exception too.
Mm-hmm. But I have mixed feelings about Rick and Morty. Uh-huh. Eventually, I'll go into more analysis of my opinions of Rick and Morty.
We'll probably have some sort of Rick and Morty Undertaking related thing eventually.
When the next season drops.
We'll figure something out.
Yeah. But in general, I mean to say, adult cartoons are not my thing. Mm-hmm. Because I think that a lot of the time, they go incredibly sexual and incredibly gross just because the limits are not met by someone's physical ability to vomit.
It's an episodic format similar to kids' cartoons, mm-hmm. except it's rated R or M or whatever.
Exactly. So like those moments on Family Guy when Peter vomits for 2 minutes straight. I don't really find that funny. I know not that dick humor and all that stuff is necessarily bad.
There's a time and place, my friend.
Exactly. I think a lot of a lot of shows in that genre rely too heavily on it. I was very impressed with BoJack Horseman. I was very surprised by how much I enjoyed it.
I'm glad to hear that
because it takes a step beyond simple adult comedy cartoons. And is first of all genuinely funny.
Yeah, right.
And then, oh my god, how do I even? It's like you watch the show to have a comedy, to see a comedy and to laugh, and the show just gives you the middle finger, and just hits you with some real depressing, like real life stuff. And I was not expecting. I had heard that was a part of the show, but I was not expecting it to be done as well as the show actually did it.
It really, honestly, it still surprises me. I watch it all the time. Like I said, I was watching it with my sister the other night, and she really likes it too now, which is making me happy because it's like, ooh, it's spreading.
Yeah.
But the show constantly surprises me, and like I told you a few times, I personally think season 1 is the weakest.
You did tell me. I forgot about that, but you're right. You did say that.
Not even like trying to diss on season 1. It's just like every season after that has just completely blown my expectations out of the water and just does so much with storytelling and animation in future seasons. Like they really push the boundaries a lot, especially later. And it just... They tell such interesting stories and they subvert narrative tropes so often. Like my favorite thing is like when they do like flashback scenes. I know this isn't really subverting narrative, but like it's a funny. It's like to establish what year it is. Like
I love this. Yeah, go on.
Like
you tell it.
The protagonist, like Bojack, will be writing in the song in the car is like generic rock song from the 80s, the decade we are currently in.
I also love that. It's just so dumb, but it's so perfect.
Like
it really does.
It recognizes shit like that. It's like we'll just tell you.
Exactly, and I mean. They do a lot of that, actually. Not the theme song, but the outro music of Bojack Horseman is just the plot of Bojack Horseman.
Yeah. It's like back in the 90s. I was in a really famous TV show.
Thank you for hitting the note. I was not going to attempt it. But
I'm glad you didn't.
Yeah,
you're not good with the high octaves. You're good with the bass.
I am a man that has hit puberty. I will accept that.
And I am not. Or rather, no, I hit puberty, but my voice went up.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so I think I would highly recommend, without getting into spoilers, which we will in a few minutes.
Yeah.
But I would highly recommend BoJack Horseman to pretty much anyone, A, that likes comedy and likes laughing, B, enjoys storytelling, or just enjoys good art in general. I really do recommend the show. Yeah.
I am glad to hear that. Okay.
So let's hear your interpretation of Hot Topic Sabrina.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so a little background first. I have never really consumed any Sabrina the Teenage Witch media ever before this.
Okay.
So I think I went in with a very unbiased perspective on this show in particular.
Okay.
I don't know really anything about the overall themes or mood setting or atmosphere of the other Sabrina the Teenage Witch stuff. So my opinions will be solely on this show.
I will say Sabrina the Teenage Witch, the sitcom that made Sabrina famous, was very lighthearted.
Yes, I had that feeling.
Yeah.
But
because it's a sitcom.
Let me just start off the bat saying, wasn't really expecting all the Satan stuff. I was sort of surprised in, like, not a bad way, in like oh my god. Whereas, like, this show decided it was gonna go kind of dark, and then they said, you know what, no, let's go really dark.
Yeah.
Let's go all the way in for this witch stuff.
Let's go just to the wall with it.
So Sabrina the Teenage Witch, or this Netflix show, I assume.
The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina.
Yeah. So Sabrina's a half human, half witch hybrid. Was her mom a witch or is her dad a witch? Her dad was
her father's
warlock.
the witch. Yeah, her father's the warlock witch, whatever you want to call it.
And her mom was the human.
Okay.
Correct. So she's half and half, and it's basically just her adventures being this sort of weird hybrid. Like, it's, you know, it kind of... starts in that like generic like outcast from both sides type of way, but they do really smart things with it. And I gotta say, out of all the characters in the show, Sabrina was easily my favorite because she really tried to be like really what's the word,
rebellious,
not rebellious, but like solve her problems and like really try to take everything seriously and fix everything that goes wrong very intently. But just her lack of experience and her
right, because she's freaking 16 in the show. Yeah,
because she's so young, she just like messes everything up, not because she's stupid, but because she lacks better judgment.
Oh, I think it's fair to say stupid, and then I don't say that demeaningly. I think everybody's stupid at that age. I mean, she's genuinely trying, but she's
it's
dumb.
nice to see that she makes bad decisions, but you could totally see, like, oh, that could have totally worked if some of things were different. You know what I mean?
If things went differently, this could have been great.
She is a properly flawed character.
Yes.
Like, it's good flaws.
If events happened in a way that was not this way, other events could have been better.
Look, I'm trying not to spoil anything.
I agree.
And like I said, it took me a few episodes to get really into it, but I mean, that's kind of just me with everything.
Yeah.
So I don't blame the show for anything for that. It sets a mood very quickly. It introduces its characters well. A few standouts. I loved Ambrose.
Ambrose is my favorite character.
Who is Sabrina's cousin?
Sabrina's cousin, yeah. He says cousin many times throughout the show.
He calls her cousin.
So many times.
Harvey, I never thought I would see Ross Lynch again.
Yeah,
it's good to see him.
It was episode 9 that I realized, like the entire show I was watching, I was just like, I know that actor, and then I realized it was like what was it, Austin and Ally?
Yeah, he was from Austin and Ally on the Disney Channel,
which we watched towards the very end of our Disney Channel career.
Yeah, well, I watched it because I had a crush on the girl who played Ally.
Really, who was that?
I don't know, but she was really cute. She probably still is.
I could not tell you. I forget everything about that show.
Yeah, I don't remember her name, but I never thought I'd see him again. And you know what? He did a good job. He did a really good job.
And I will say the reason why he's present in this, because fine, he did a nice job as playing Harvey, but also this takes place in the Riverdale universe. I don't know if you got that.
No, I did. I heard some mentions of Riverdale.
Yeah,
it makes sense to me because it's like the Archie comics type stuff,
right? Which is perfect because Jughead is played by Cole Sprouse in Riverdale, so I think
they're turning old blonde Disney guys into brunettes with badass attitudes and a lot of daddy issues.
Exactly, and they're just recycling those actors, which makes sense from a business point of view because that's
cool. Yeah, because
that's the age range they're going for.
Like older teens will definitely recognize them and be like, "Oh, they're in something serious now."
Yeah, what the hell? What the hell is that about?
Now, a part of me is also kind of thinking, like, while watching this, like, I don't know who this is targeted for, but then I like kind of thought about it a little bit more. And it's like, this is definitely, like, our age group, like, older teens, young adults. Because it does feel like a young adult type of, like, thing. Like,
well, the reason why...
Hunger Games.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I interrupted you.
And Harry Potter.
Okay. The reason why I think that it feels more adult than... Because it's labeled as a teen show. But it feels more adult because it's a horror show. It borders on that.
No, it's not even that. It's just like the genre of young adult. Like it kind of fits in with some of those tropes. And I know Sabrina is like an older series and icon. So she probably said a lot of the tropes.
Right.
But I still want to point them out.
Well, okay, what's your experience with Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
Never seen it.
Really? Nothing?
Nothing.
Okay. Well, it has a very Buffy the Vampire feel. At least that's what I got from the show.
Well, when I watch Buffy, I'll be like, this has a very Chilling Adventures of Sabrina feel.
Yeah, because it's like it's got the urban fantasy and all that. Anyway, can we officially start the spoiler section?
Well, one more thing.
Okay, sure.
Despite what I just said, I really had a good time watching this show, and I'm going to continue watching it if more seasons come out. I would imagine it got approved for season 2.
Not only that, it got approved for seasons 3 and 4.
Well, I'll be watching.
Which is amazing,
I definitely had a good time, and I'm definitely coming back, because I want to see what happens to Ambrose.
Yes, absolutely. Did you watch the Christmas special?
No.
I did not either. Okay. So this will be...
We'll watch it next year.
Exactly.
For Christmas. We missed it.
Yeah, we missed the window in which that would be relevant. Okay, so this is your final spoiler warning at 19 minutes into the show.
Season 1
of Bojack Horseman,
and season 1 for Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. But you know, if you've seen the whole show, you've only seen season 1, unless you're listening to this 3 years in advance. In which case, how is it?
Please
nice.
Leave a comment.
Give us an email. Who knows?
If time travel has been invented yet, please send us a spoiler-free review of seasons.
Yeah, I'd love to hear
4.
it.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, okay. So final spoiler warning. Done.
Okay, now we can talk spoilers.
Okay, so what should we talk first?
I don't know. Want to flip a coin?
I guess.
Okay. Do you have a coin?
I don't.
Well, okay.
I'll talk.
Wait, here's one.
Okay.
Yeah. I committed to this bit.
You did.
All right, ready? Heads or tails?
I'll go tails.
Wait, and tails?
Tails, we talked about Bojack first.
Okay. It's tails.
All right, we talked about Bojack. Okay.
You didn't even compliment my coin flip.
It was a really good coin flip.
Thank you.
It spun in the air for a while.
I didn't have a lot of friends, so I practiced coin flipping.
That was the talent that you decided on.
I decided on a lot of things that I regret, Mike.
The way that I am going to make friends.
If I want to showcase my abilities on this show, I'm going to do it.
And I will do it by flipping a coin. You'll get a good job in the NFL one day. Because I don't know, you know it's sports, but that's how every game begins.
Yeah, I would do that.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? Totally.
Absolutely.
All right, go.
So
let's go.
Bojack Horseman. The moment that the episode that sold, like, I was having a good time the entire time, but the episode that sold me was the one where he visited Herb.
Oh yeah,
that was brilliant.
That was the first time for me too, if I recall correctly, because it's been 4 years since I first started watching this show. That was the first time where it kind of hit me, where it was like, this show is really trying to be something innovative, and I think it's gonna succeed.
Yeah, I didn't get that. I didn't think about the show necessarily. I just thought, like, so the plot, for those of you who either haven't seen it and want to be spoiled, or those of you that have seen all 5 seasons and just don't think about episodes that you haven't seen in 5 years. The episode is Bojack goes to visit his dying old friend Herb, who he stabbed in the back. Herb was the inventor of his old show Horsing Around.
I just imagined him like in a lab coat and like with like beakers. It's like, I shall call it a sitcom. It doesn't sound anything like Herb.
That was not Herb.
I shall call it No, I can't do Herb.
I can't do Herb. Who plays Herb?
I don't know. I'm gonna look it up.
You look it up. I'll keep talking. But yeah, so essentially what happened was, when Bojack was starting out, he was friends with this guy Herb, who created Horsing Around, got Bojack the lead, and then got outed as being gay,
which in the 90s was a bigger deal.
Yeah, that was a no-no in the 90s.
Yeah. Oh, it's Stanley Tucci.
Stanley Tucci. How do I know that name? Don't X out.
Okay.
Go pull up Stanley Tucci's IMDb page.
Who is Stanley Tucci?
Thank you. Stanley Tucci did a very good job in this one, but Bojack was approached and said, "Listen, we're firing Herb. Either you we're still doing the show." And Bojack was like, "Okay," and he did not support Herb in this time of need. And so basically, I'm not doing the plot line justice at all. And what it does is it shows you basically that Bojack Horseman made a very shitty choice in order to remain in his livelihood.
It wasn't even about, like, he puts it this way himself, it wasn't even about like the abandonment. It was more about like the fact that he kind of stopped talking to him after that. Like,
that's true, because
his career was ruined, so he's like kind of got the idea is like, I shouldn't talk to him.
That's true. Bojack felt guilty, and he was not able to deal with that guilt until Herb started dying, and he went to visit him while he was having cancer. And in this episode, it was very tense, but the scene that sold me on it was Herb. He goes to Herb and apologizes, and Herb was like, "All right, I don't forgive you, but all right." And it was just a very tense moment because, I'm going back to my expertise. I know a lot about Shakespeare, and in Shakespeare, the way that you tell a comedy apart from a drama in Shakespeare is, at the end of the comedy, everybody gets married and is happy, and at the end of the tragedy, everybody is either dead or depressed.
Everyone is dead.
Exactly. So in this comedy, Herb didn't die in this episode, but it was definitely not a happy ending. it ends with Bojack being devastated and ruining his relationship with someone that he cares about because he kisses Diane in the next scene. And it is a brutal.
Herb said something to him like I'm not gonna feel better, I'm dying, and I'm not gonna be your crutch so you can feel better. You have to deal with what you did, type stuff. Exactly.
Herb refused to be the plot device that brings Bojack peace.
Because I don't know if you noticed this, but like he kind of tries to live life like it's a 30-minute sitcom. Mm-hmm. Like it may have been obvious at some points when he let the credits roll after he gave Sarah Lynn the trophy.
Oh yeah, that was award. That was an extremely fucked up episode too. Oh my god.
Every episode with Sarah Lynn is so fucked up.
There's always at least one moment in BoJack Horseman I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? But that episode in particular was just like, ugh, oh my god. Sarah Lynn, watch the show.
She was voiced by Kristen Shaw, who plays Mabel in Gravity Falls.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's a great voice actress.
Yeah, she usually does like younger kids who are like super like assholes. So Mabel was like the black sheep for her.
Really?
Because she was like super nice and fun. But most of the characters she plays are like foul mouthed like assholes.
Yeah.
So
I am only familiar with her work in Gravity Falls and now BoJack Horseman. But yeah, that was so. I loved one of the things that you said at lunch that I thought was very interesting is you said that this is a comedy, but it's also a very raw look at the Hollywood industry. Because it shows how devastating celebrity culture, but I mean also just in general movie making and filmmaking.
Yeah.
It does. I mean, it takes a focal look at celebrity culture, but not exclusively. It shows how raw and how disgusting that is, and how it can really, really screw up people's lives.
The sacrifice of artistic integrity in exchange for money.
Yeah,
it hurt. Like there are some scenes that hurt me.
Yeah, and again, all of this I did not expect from when the final joke of episode 1 was just BoJack Horseman vomiting cotton candy off his balcony.
The first episode is that was kind of like the black sheep.
Right. Well, I mean, I kind of could tell that something was different because clearly BoJack was dealing with depression in episode 1, and I mean, thankfully I've never dealt with depression, but I don't know how accurate it is, but it felt very raw and very real. So I mean, I'm very grateful that you recommended this to me, because like I said, looking at the art and looking at everything, I was just like, it's just another freaking adult comedy Seth MacFarlane like thing.
It's a great show disguised as a shitty adult comedy.
Yes, exactly. That's a really good way of saying it. It's something more than what it actively tries to look like.
Dude, I'm gonna say something right now just quickly.
Yeah.
If you ever want to come over and like binge a season, I'm always down.
How long are it's like
every episode's like 25 minutes.
So let's see, that's
and each episode is 12. Each season is 12.
So that's 6 hours minus 30 minutes. So it's like 5.5 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Basically what I'm saying is I can watch this show forever.
Oh, I'm down for that. Yeah.
Great.
You know what? We'll do that as soon as the episode ends.
And now I have to ask you, what'd you think of Vincent Adultman?
Oh my god, it's such a dumb bit that works so freaking well.
So that was the joke. Like that was on a promo like 4 years ago, and that's what made me like, I gotta watch this show.
What, that Vincent Adultman was in it?
It was so obviously just a couple kids stacked on top of each other, and no one can tell.
That BoJack Horseman is, the only guy that is able to tell. I love it because everything that Princess Carolyn says is just so obviously it, and every time I laugh because there was one moment in which she's looking out the window. It's just like, I wanted a real adult relationship, but all Vincent ever does is when he gets home from the business factory, so he wants to sit down with his cup of chocolate milk and watch R-rated movies. I was just like, it's so ridiculous. That is actually one of the more genuinely funny bits of the show.
It's like, why must you have this thing with my boyfriend? Well, you do realize what my thing is about your boyfriend, in that he has 3 small boys stacked on top of each other with a trench coat.
Oh my god, that's funny.
It's probably one of my favorite characters. Like that's fucking brilliant.
It's so good. It's so ridiculous. And again, the way that they introduce this genius bit is not with any backstory. It's literally just Princess Carolyn approaches the bar, finds a guy in a trench coat, is like, "Hey, let's go on a date," and he's just in the rest of the season.
Yeah, I love stuff like, because like common tropes like that feel like they need setup, but like in this show, it's like you see them, you know exactly what's happening. They don't need to explain anything. Like, yeah. I won't spoil it too much for you, but in a later season, there's like a classic like, oh, two characters kind of look the same, so they swap. But it goes on in like the back of the story, and they only give you bits and pieces. But you're like, I totally see what's happening.
I love it. I also loved many impulsive gags that they just stick through, such as the moment in which Mr. Peanut Butter, and again, first of all, the name Mr. Peanut Butter. I just
Mr. Peanut Butter.
I just love that's his real name.
I love it.
But Mr. Peanut Butter and Bojack are fighting over Diane in the restaurant, and Bojack's like, "Fuck it, I'll buy the restaurant," and he just has the restaurant, and that's a major plot device. It's like where they set the wedding and other things. He just has it for the rest of the season.
No, he has it for the rest of the show.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, and again, when I saw the other thing, I was just like, that's funny, and then they just stuck with it. I was just like, all right, great continuity. I love it.
This show does have really good continuity.
And like, brilliant continuity.
They never go back to Hollywood. It's always just Hollywood.
Again, so funny. A lesser sitcom, and again, I don't even say lesser. This doesn't take anything away from those sitcoms. Would just be like, oh, that's a great bit for the show, and then they change it back for during the next episode, and that's not a bad thing to. I have sympathy. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing to do at all.
It's fine.
I'm just saying the fact that they stuck with it is so much of a better choice. Oh my god. So yeah, it's a brilliant comedy. I was floored by it. I really was very impressed.
That makes me happy. This must be how you felt when you recommended Danganronpa to me.
Yes. Did you ever end up playing Danganronpa 3?
I'm itching towards it. Okay. I'm still trying to hold out for a little bit and enjoy the rest of my life before I ruin a week by doing only that.
That's fair.
But eventually. I'm holding out as long as I can.
I mean, I'm going to keep watching Bojack Horseman.
Dude, great.
Until I finish everything from here on in.
I'm not going to tell you anything, just like my favorite episode of the show, and you'll remember it. It's called Free Churro. When you watch it, text me, because I want to just hear what you think about it.
Free Churro?
Yes. It's like much later season.
Like free as in no cost to a Mexican food.
That's what the episode is called.
Okay, cool.
So when you find it, just watch it and then tell me what you think.
Do you know what season it is in?
5.
Okay.
It's my favorite episode of probably any TV show.
Okay.
It's one of the craziest things I've ever seen.
All right, awesome. I look forward to it. Probably won't be for a while. But...
Oh yeah. It's very far in advance.
Yeah. I will text you when it gets there. Anything else you want to say about Bojack?
There's nothing I haven't already said. Obviously, if you're still listening, then you've hopefully seen it, and if not, you don't care, and hopefully now you do care. I mean, it's mostly just been references without a stable follow through, but whatever.
I mean, it probably the only thing that I think Bojack season 1 can be spoiled by is the surprise gut punch that it gives you. I think that we spoiled.
There aren't a lot of big character moments that change the character.
But I don't know. I think that the moment in which Bojack is standing in front of Diane at the ridiculous Ghostwriters conference, and he's just like, "Diane, am I a good person?" That was
that was the biggest moment. Season, I think that was episode 11.
Yeah,
but the thing with all the Bojack seasons, the 11th episode is always the super fucked up episode where something really crazy happens.
Really,
and that sticks through.
Okay,
so usually when you talk Bojack spoilers, it's just those episodes because they're the biggest what the fuck moments. And season 1 wasn't super big. Starting season 2 and going forward, Bojack in particular does some really horrible things.
Okay.
That are incredible and have real consequence, and it's very fascinating to watch.
I mean, Bojack is an asshole, but it's fascinating because it's almost like he wants to do more, but he doesn't want to.
He doesn't want to try.
He doesn't want to try, exactly. So it's an interesting character that I feel sympathy for in this show, but I feel like I wouldn't have sympathy for him in any other circumstance whatsoever.
Yeah, no. And I don't even know if you're supposed to have sympathy for him, because it's just like, I don't know. I guess you can hope for him to get better, but it's also just like, is he too far gone? Or should I just root for the side characters like Todd, and stuff like that.
I love Todd.
Todd is the best. I love his misadventures.
Yeah, Aaron Paul is such a good actor. First of all, he was one of my favorite actors of all time in Breaking Bad, but I didn't, and then he went away for a while. I didn't realize he was doing this in his spare time, but like, the Todd and Jesse dynamic is so different, and both of them are so lovable. I don't know if Jesse's lovable, but you get what I mean. You get what I mean, yeah. But yeah, BoJack Horseman, blown away. Absolutely.
Watch it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
so now
time to go to Sabrina.
Let's do a complete 180.
Yes, not really a comedy
at all,
and not really about depression,
at all.
Not a cartoon.
Not a cartoon.
This show, definitely, I'm not gonna say it surprised me, because I was expecting to like it, because I've heard really good things as well. Nothing great. Like, I just heard like a few people being like, "Oh, it's good. You should watch it." And then when you recommended it to me, I was like, "Okay, there's definitely something here I have to see."
Right.
Because you wouldn't have recommended it to me if you didn't.
Right.
So I had that advantage going in, and let's see.
Well, what did you expect of the pilot episode? What did you take of the pilot episode?
Well, I'm gonna go a little bit further. That I'm gonna say what I was expecting was Sabrina just to be like, I'm a half witch, half human, and I'm gonna try to do the best of both worlds, Hannah Montana type thing.
She kind of does.
And she kind of does, but it's not like campy like I thought it was gonna be. Like, I thought it was gonna be like, oh no, I'm gonna miss the dance or whatever. But it's like, no. It's like, oh no, I gotta kill my friend so I can bring my other friend back to life.
Holy shit, that final 3-episode arc.
Yes.
Is what but yeah, the closest thing they have is in episode 1 with her, I'm gonna miss my dark baptism in which I signed my soul away to Satan.
Yes, and it really surprised me. There were a couple of huge surprises. The first big surprise was when she refused to sign. Because I was like, this is something all witches do, and it makes sense.
Right.
Because it's like,
well,
they work for Satan.
That's the witch lore. Exactly.
That's what they do.
That's what was told in the Crucible and in other, during the Salem witch trials.
Other witch stuff, yeah.
Which I also loved about the show. They didn't try to romanticize it like in Harry Potter. Or
no,
like
they were like, people fucking hate witches and we work for Satan. Straight up.
And there's a reason why.
And that is something I greatly appreciate. Because, like, in all other, because, witch media, maybe not Wizard of Oz, but witches has always been we're cool and maybe evil, maybe good, anti-heroes. That's kind of how they're portrayed.
If anti-heroes at all.
Yes.
Because like I said, the most popular witches of all time are Hermione Granger and Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Who very much does not deal with Satanism at all.
Yes. So this was a really interesting take and something I wasn't expecting. I wasn't expecting this type of seriousness. I was expecting a Hunger Games, Harry Potter type seriousness where it's super dark and brooding but still action packed and fun. Right. It was and it kind of is. It's definitely fun in its own twisted fucking way.
It is.
And it's definitely dark, but not in the kind of dark where it's ooh, we're edgy. Where it's it's kind of dark where it's ooh, she just killed someone. Oh my god.
Yeah, the moment that sold me. First of all, have you seen the trailer for the show?
No.
The trailer is beautifully done because it rides the Hannah Montana best of both worlds kind of thing.
Did they do a fake cell kind of thing?
No, but they owned the darkness of it. That's kind of what the sell of it was. But it was just there's it's just all this dark shit happening, and then it closes with a cake of written on it, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, and throughout the entire 2-minute thing, you just hear in the background while all this dark shit is happening a twisted version of Happy Birthday, Sweet 16.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah,
I gotta watch that.
It's very good. But what sold me on it is I didn't realize this was the character, but Aunt Hilda coming up Wait, no. Or
Zelda?
Aunt Zelda. Zelda was... I get the names mixed up. But Aunt Zelda was walking up the stairs, and Amber was just like, where's Aunt Hilda? And Zelda's like, she was annoying me, so I killed her and buried her in the garden. I was just like, all right, now I gotta watch this shit. Yeah.
I forgot about that. So later, when they performed the, like the knife across when Sabrina literally killed, I forget her name.
One of the weird sisters.
One of the mean girls.
Yeah. True, actually.
I was like, okay, she's gonna like pull a fake out, or like she's not gonna actually hurt her. It's just like, it's gonna be like whatever. And then she fucking slits her throat, and I like, whoa.
Yeah.
I forgot like witches could come back to life. So I was like, oh my god, she's not messing around.
And they did such a great job doing the monkey's paw like thing in the, like, I forget if it was the last or second to last episode, where Tommy comes back from the dead and is just sitting there,
he's just
not Tommy.
He's just kind of like a dude.
Yeah. Not even.
And partially, like, I gotta say, I'm happy he didn't come back. Not because, like, I want Harvey to suffer.
Nah, fuck Harvey. He deserves to die.
I like him. But I think it's more along, it's good, it's better for the story. It's like, it gives, I don't want Sabrina to have that much power.
Of course not.
Because then the show becomes boring. Although, the end of the season, it seems like she got a bit more power.
It seems like she's going to become Satan's bride, or at least that's what the...
Or step up to what's her name? Because she's going to become the bride of Satan, right? Or is she already the bride of Satan?
So, we're talking about the literal last season,
end.
Season 10. What was revealed was, Satan, for some reason, chose Sabrina as his future bride, the future queen of hell.
Yeah.
Miss Wormwood, or whatever the fuck her name is.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
Who actually isn't Miss Wormwood. She's remember the first scene in which she's the real teacher is murdered?
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's completely forgettable, but that's not Sabrina's
teacher. I totally
teacher.
did forget about that.
Yeah. It was it set the tone for the rest of the series. But
ambulance. Oh, it's coming. It's coming.
It be coming.
It's coming.
Should we wait?
No, sorry.
Okay. But
no, actually no, wait.
Edit this out.
I'm going to cut this, yeah. Who cares?
Whoever's in the ambulance cares.
Sorry. We're back from that. Sorry, we're back. Hi. Ambulance passed.
So,
that was weird. Continue.
Anyway, before we were rudely interrupted by EMS.
Yeah, how dare they do their job.
And save lives. What the hell? But, what was I saying? But yeah, so the plot is that Satan chose Sabrina to be the queen of hell, but Miss Wormwood, or whoever the witch is that took over Miss Wormwood's body...
She wasn't about that.
She wanted to be the queen of hell, and guided Sabrina along the path to signing the book of the devil and becoming a fully initiated witch.
Yes.
She led her along that path to prove her ability and her loyalty to Satan, so that she could one day become
the bride of Satan.
The bride of Satan,
yes.
The queen of hell that Sabrina has been chosen to be.
Yes, and I gotta say, I was sort of upset when she signed her name, but I also kind of get it, because it's like, what else are you gonna do in that situation?
It was a defeat.
Yeah.
It was like, I was just sitting there staring at it like, oh my god, she has to sign the book, but holy shit, she can't sign the book.
Because it's like, now we can't have fun, half human, half witch adventures. Yeah. No.
And that was a turn that okay, so one of the things I think all Netflix series in general kind of suffer from is that they have too many episodes. And I think this is no exception. For example, I think the episode with the Dream Demon...
Yeah, that didn't have to be there.
Completely unnecessary.
I was ironically the first episode that I got really into it.
Really?
That was like when I was like, I'm having fun. I agree, though. That was kind of a fillery episode.
Yeah, I was kind of like, really didn't need it. And I'm also talking about like Daredevil and Jessica Jones and the other Netflix original series. You could cut it down 3 episodes and keep it the exact same quality.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to keep that Chilling Adventures of Sabrina title. You need some chilling adventures in there.
Well, of course. But all I mean to say is that because of that, I could kind of predict some of the beats.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, here's gonna be a fillery episode to build tension for this, even though they don't really, if they proved anything by putting the dark baptism that was the main component of their advertising campaign in the pilot episode, it's that you can build tension without putting episodes in between each big moment.
It's true.
But regardless, so I could kind of predict some of the beats. That was a moment in which I was like, I did not see that coming.
Mm-hmm.
I totally thought the motivation for every season after this would be
sign the book.
Sign the book.
I thought that was
book.
I thought that was going to be like a season 3 thing.
Yeah, but man, I was floored by all of that.
Beat me to it. Can I also just say one other thing? I want to give this show one huge praise.
Sure.
In shows like this, excuse me.
Right.
When the protagonist has like sort of like a huge jaw-dropping secret,
mm-hmm.
usually no one that's like their friend or anything finds out until like the very end. Thank you, this show, for letting all of her friends and her now ex-boyfriend find out. Thank you.
You like that?
I like, because it was very real how it was handled. Well, real. Like,
quote unquote.
They figured it out. They confronted her. She said yes, but it's like, I'm still the same. And they supported her.
Okay.
And it's not like, it wasn't like that bullshit like, no, you're a witch. Fuck you forever. And then they leave. And then that's it. Because that's what I was afraid of.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought that the way they handled it was a little bit Hannah Montana. But I never thought about the parallels between the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina and Hannah Montana until this podcast.
It's like Hannah Montana, but with a lot more devil worship and blood. The best of both worlds. Kill your friend with a knife. Stick the body in a grave. I don't know.
You didn't rhyme. I was rooting for you there, buddy. Close enough.
Thanks.
But I did like how they played up the dynamic between the friends' ancestors and the conflict between them and the Spellman family. Like
everyone, all the older people kind of knew. Where it's like, oh, the Spellmans, they used to be witches.
Exactly. And then the ghost ancestor of Susie was like, beware the Spellmans. And then Roz and Susie confront Sabrina in the bathroom and just like, dude, if you've been fucking keeping us a secret this whole time, your family killed our family, and we have a blood feud going back generations. And then Sabrina cries, and they're like, it's okay, we love you.
Yeah, but it's also like, none of that was her fault or their fault.
Of course
that was the past, and it would be wrong for them to like use the past as a reason to antagonize one another. Hint, hint. World.
You did it. You solved the world's problems.
Done.
With that shade, everything's fixed.
Didn't we solve the world problem last week when we said we didn't like Nazis?
Oh, you're right. We did it again.
2 in 1 week. Or it's twice in 2
two
weeks.
in a row. 2 in a row. We're gonna save the world every day.
Tune in next week when we talk about how
genocide sucks.
Yeah. Murder. Nope.
I'm gonna give it a no from me.
Not unless you're a witch and you can be brought back from the dead, but kinda not really.
But also don't do that either, because that didn't turn out well for Sabrina.
Yeah, no, did not go well.
But I mean, it worked in the context of the show, because it was like that also served as a plot device in order to defile Miss Wormwood's plans. I don't actually remember her name, but I'm gonna call her Wormwood.
I don't remember either.
But so that was one thing, but also I thought that again, I think that Harvey came around a little too quickly for me.
What do you mean?
He forgave her a little too quickly for me. When she performed necromancy on his brother, and then like half an episode later, or like the next episode, he was just like, Sabrina, can we date again? And she's like, no, my hair's white, I'm too good for you now.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that's just a difference in our personalities. Because here's the thing, I thought he took too long to forgive her.
She brought his brother. She destroyed his brother's soul. He can no longer go to heaven because of her.
It was not really even that. It was just like, she tried to fix it and failed. It was like he was already dead.
Well, yeah, and now he doesn't have an afterlife.
Well, he was in limbo anyway.
But then he got eaten by the dude.
Which he would have been anyway.
Dude, I'm gonna say, again, I'm gonna solve all the world's problems right now. I'm gonna say that necromancy is bad, regardless of your intentions.
Sure, it's bad, but she didn't make things worse. Well, maybe
she did, absolutely.
Okay, there's definitely going to need to be some therapy for Harvey. But aside from that,
Sabrina set up in a scenario in which Harvey had to shoot his brother in the head. If you force me to shoot any of my loved ones in the head, I'm not coming around to...
Yeah, okay. Maybe I just like white hair. I don't know.
I mean, it works.
Yeah, I like white hair.
Yeah.
That's why I would have forgiven her.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm that shallow.
But regardless of that plot point, the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina,
it's great,
was fantastic. Even though I personally, when I first watched it, I thought it was just going to be, they're just taking an old sitcom and making it edgy. But they did something really cool with it.
No, they really turned it around. Can I tell you my favorite episode?
Absolutely.
The fucking Thanksgiving one, where...
with the cannibalism?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was good.
Fucking cool.
That was a fun time.
In like a dark way. That was like fun dark. I loved how like all the witches were like, please eat me. Please. It's a great aunt. And come on.
That was one actually the creepiest episode for me.
I thought it was creepy as hell.
Mm-hmm.
And then everyone was having a witch orgy and I was like, okay. And then
They weren't having a witch orgy.
No, remember?
When they swarmed the body?
No, before that.
Oh, yeah, you're totally right. I forgot about that
attic,
scene.
Where it's like, you're making out with someone who's going to be food tomorrow.
Yeah.
You're kissing your food.
Yeah, absolutely. Again.
And you know what upset me the most, strangely?
What?
When they were eating the body, something really ticked me off about, like, they didn't cook her.
You're actually totally right.
Yeah, I was like, come on, you're gonna catch disease.
That's the biggest problem.
Come on, germs.
Guys!
Before you eat other witches, you gotta cook them.
It's like you can't eat the cookie dough before you put it in. It looks good.
That's the lesson I took away from that.
Is like, cook your fucking food.
Oh, I got another world solution. Eating people. Bad idea.
Pretty bad idea. Solved it.
Done.
Solved cannibalism.
And
we should create like a little soundbite that just like the world's problems are solved or something like that every time something
just
like
keep
this.
a list of all this bullshit stuff we're saying, where it's like no Nazis, no genocide, no cannibalism,
no necromancy.
Supported by the Weekly Undertaking.
Supported by the Weekly Undertaking. Absolutely. Oh man.
And with that, I could probably just say, yeah, it's great. I had a fun time. I enjoyed it. It scratched my dark itch for something a little different, and I had a good time.
Yeah, and as a fantasy horror lover, I will say that this has a lot of very Buffy vibes to it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very, very well done. It's just fun to watch.
It's great.
Check it out.
I would recommend you watch this show with a friend with a bunch of popcorn.
Mm-hmm. The magic also, I will say also, the magic system in the show is so well constructed.
Oh yeah.
The rules and everything and the rituals.
Yeah, I also really like the effects and the makeup and all that. Should go without saying.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But it's all very, very well done.
Big ups to Ross Lynch, and can you look up the rest of the cast?
Yeah, what's Sabrina's actress's name? I liked her.
Starts with a K, but I forget her actual full name. But big ups to everybody that produced it.
Kiernan Shipka.
Yeah, Kiernan Shipka. You got it.
Okay.
Lucy Davis and
Madam Satan was Michelle Gomez.
Good for her.
Yes. I did recognize Lucy Davis in there. I don't know what she in? I don't know, but she looks super familiar.
Okay, well, I mean, she's an accomplished actress.
Let's check.
IMDb that.
Movies and TV shows.
Yeah, please.
Oh, she's in Wonder Woman.
She was in Wonder Woman?
She was in The British Office, Shaun of the Dead, which I really want to watch.
She was in the Garfield movie.
The second one, the better one, A Tale of Two Kitties.
Oh my god!
I actually did like that movie.
I actually didn't see it. I was joking.
Some guy who kills people. I have to watch that. I don't know what it's about, but
okay. So it seems that she's a very famous comedic actress. In which case, I mean, she had funny moments, but I will give her major props. Her depiction of Hilda was very compelling.
Yeah, her serious moments were really strong.
Very.
She was a very strong character. She seemed like just like a fun aunt I would love to have.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely.
Like she was all excited about working at the bookstore.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, yay!
Good for her. And she also saved Susie at one point from the fucking bullies.
That was cool.
That was a badass moment.
I was hoping we'd see some like kind of like smart witch moment like that where it's like, I know everything about you and I'm going to use that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, good for her.
Yeah, I had a great time.
Uh-huh.
I think that wraps up both shows.
I got nothing else to say about them.
Awesome. And you know what I'm going to say?
What?
It's pick and bucket time. Is it?
Do we need to say anything else? Besides, if you want to let us know what you think of the show, I guess that's really it. I guess.
Oh yeah, watch them.
Normally we wrap this up by saying, "Will you continue doing this?" But I think we covered. I'm gonna keep watching BoJack.
Oh yeah, I will keep watching Sabrina, obviously.
Whenever the next
and
season
BoJack
drops. And BoJack.
I think we're both watching both shows.
Yeah, exactly.
Forever until they're both done.
All right, so yeah, let's pick the bucket.
Great. I'm gonna do it this week because you did it last week.
All right, let's see what we got.
All right.
What do we have? What do we have? What do we have? What do we have? What do we have?
Oh goodness, it's
no.
time for some weird ass thing.
Oh, this is actually our first ever listener submitted suggestion.
Thank you, listener.
This is from Joe from Cinema Riches. This is called the Anti-Ambiturner. For one day this week, you can only turn left or right.
So I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Zoolander, Michael.
I have.
But Zoolander in the movie has a disease where he's not an ambiturner.
No, he doesn't have a disease.
Well, it's not a disease.
He just has one side that he thinks is much better.
He is not an ambiturner. Well, it's like the thing is he can't turn left.
Right, because his right side is bad. His bad side. Or his left, his right side is his bad side.
Yeah, so like he's not an ambiturner, so he only turns right for the entire movie, except for the climax or spoilers. He turns left to save everyone.
That's right, he does that.
He stops the shuriken with his face.
Yeah.
With his look. Magnum.
So the challenge this week, and it is a weird one, but thank you, Joe, is that for one day this week, we are only allowed to turn to the right or turn to the left.
So do you, which way do you want to turn? Which way do you want?
Oh, shoot. I guess I'll go right.
Okay, I'll go left.
Okay.
I'll turn left, and it's just one day, otherwise this would be ridiculous.
Right, because I don't want to plot out my entire drive to work.
Yeah. Do this on a day when you don't have to... Wait, do you have to work this week?
Oh no, you're right, because I still have off.
Yeah.
This is great.
You're fucking lucky. I only have like 2 days where I can do it, because there's no way I could do it on a day I have work. So I have to either do this tomorrow or like next Saturday.
Right, because
I'll probably do it Saturday.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it tomorrow.
Because every time you make a right, you have to do 3 lefts, and that's not fun.
Yeah, so I'm left, you're right. Okay.
Yes, absolutely. And
this is gonna be weird.
This is gonna be a weird podcast next week. But like Joe from Cinema Riches, if you would like to submit a suggestion for an Undertaking, please do.
Email us, submit suggestions, socials media, and we'll put them in.
Are you okay?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Just checking. Yeah, please get all that information of contact is in the description below.
Yes, along with some artists who have graciously helped us out. Adam and Winston doing the illustrations, Adam doing the music that you hear on the show in the beginning and the end. And
if you like either of those,
go follow them.
Please do.
Stuff. Yeah. Hire him to do stuff for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
They like money.
Yes. And follow us on YouTube. Follow our Let's Play channel. We have a lot of other stuff coming out soon. So
probably.
Yeah, eventually. So please give us a listen.
Yeah.
Or give us a follow rather. Or subscribe or whatever is appropriate for the social media of choice. Anything else we need to say?
No.
Awesome. All right, thank you guys so much for listening. We'll see you next week, and until then, don't forget to challenge yourself
and praise the Dark Lord.
Don't do that.
No, unless you're a witch or a warlock.
In which case,
do.
Well, I mean, Sabrina benefited from a baptism.
Yeah. Let us know if you're a witch in the comments below.
Yeah, please, we have many questions for you, actually.
And what do you think of Sabrina?
Yeah.
Witch? Okay, bye.
Bye.